I also thank USG Fletcher and Executive Director Russell for their briefings, which are heart-wrenching. 21 months into the Gaza conflict, the humanitarian situation on the ground has worsened to an unprecedented level. The international community must take strong actions with utmost urgency to alleviate the humanitarian catastrophe. I would like to make the following 3 points. First, humanitarian access must be fully restored. Under Israel's extreme blockade, Gaza is experiencing extreme shortages in all types of supplies for survival and faces imminent large-scale famine. 9 humanitarian agencies, including OCHA and WFP, have all warned that the fuel crisis in Gaza is so severe that all humanitarian operations are at risk of being halted. As the occupying power, Israel has the obligation to guarantee humanitarian assistance under international humanitarian law. This is also a clear requirement contained in a number of Council resolutions and the ICJ's orders on provisional measures. China firmly opposes the weaponization of humanitarian assistance and urges Israel to immediately lift the blockade and siege of Gaza so as to fully restore humanitarian access. Second, assistance must be rendered by adhering to humanitarian principles. As the UN has pointed out on many occasions, the militarized aid distribution mechanism launched by the US and Israel violates the principles of impartiality, independence, and neutrality. Not only is this mechanism not sufficient to ease the humanitarian situation, but it has repeatedly caused heavy civilian casualties. The use of force by the Israeli army against civilians seeking assistance in Gaza has resulted in more than 600 deaths and over 5,000 injuries. China strongly condemns the attacks against civilians and calls for accountability through serious and thorough investigations. The UN and other humanitarian agencies have built full-fledged systems with rich experience and therefore are capable of delivering humanitarian supplies on a large scale across Gaza. All parties should support the UN in delivering assistance in a manner that upholds humanitarian principles, while Israel is obligated to guarantee the safety and security of assistance and provide facilitation in all respects. Third, forced displacement of people must be stopped in Gaza. Since the start of the current Gaza conflict, Israel has imposed a large number of evacuation orders, covering more than 86% of Gaza territory, resulting in repeated displacement of more than 1.9 million people. Recently, Israel is reportedly discussing the establishment of a so-called humanitarian city in southern Gaza, and we are gravely concerned about that. Both Gaza and the West Bank are the homeland of the Palestinian people, not bargaining chips in political deals. Any attempt to forcibly transfer the Palestinian people is a grave violation of international law and Council resolutions, and must be firmly rejected by the international community. President, an immediate and lasting ceasefire in Gaza is the key precondition for saving lives and easing the humanitarian disaster. While we take note of the recent resumption of ceasefire negotiations, Israeli attacks continue, with new innocent lives lost every day. These cruel facts have shown time and again that peace cannot be achieved by force and that prolongation of a war only leads to more deaths and hatred. We urge Israel to immediately cease all military operations in Gaza. Countries with significant influence over the parties should act in an impartial and responsible manner and take strong and effective actions to promote a ceasefire. The implementation of the two-state solution is the only viable way to resolve the question of Palestine. We welcome the high-level conference on the implementation of the two-state solution to be held at the end of this month, and hope that it will give strong impetus to the political process of advancing the two-state solution. China will continue to work with the international community towards quelling the flames of war in Gaza, easing the humanitarian disaster, implementing the two-state solution, and ultimately realizing a comprehensive, just, and lasting settlement of the Palestinian question. Thank you.
I thank the representative of China for the statement, and now give the floor to the representative of Panama.
Gracias.
Thank you, Mr. President. Panama thanks you for convening this briefing. We also thank the delegations of Denmark, Slovenia, France, Greece, and the United Kingdom for their timely initiative of convening and calling for this briefing. We also extend our gratitude to Mr. Tom Fletcher, Under-Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs, and Ms. Catherine Russell, Executive Director of UNICEF. We thank them both for their somber